Welcome to Copeland. I'm Dan. If you're thinking of moving out of the city into the country, now's the time. Let me share a quick story with you. I got a phone call yesterday from a coworker who had some questions about remote working. Everyone in the company I work for works remotely right now, but on a temporary basis. In order to work remotely on a permanent basis, you have to get some approval process happening. So he had some questions about that, and he said, I have to move out of New York City now, as quickly as possible, and I need to be able to work remotely for my job. And I asked him, I said, why do you need to move out of New York? Is it the riots, quarantine, what's going on? And he says to me, New York City is gone. It's not coming back. If it comes back, it'll be years. It's not the quarantine, it's not the riots, it's the gang violence happening. And he's in Brooklyn. He goes, every night someone gets shot in my neighborhood. He said, my girlfriend's neighbor had a bullet pass through their front window a few days ago. His friend was walking his dog and got assaulted, walking his dog. The police only respond to murders and major crimes. And their instructions to the residents are, if someone comes up to you and says, give me your cell phone, give me your wallet, hand it over to them. Don't say anything, don't do anything, walk away. Just try to get away with your life, basically. That's the state in New York and the state in most major cities. Chicago's a mess. Portland, that's also a mess. Seattle. All of these major cities are chaotic and dangerous, and people are fleeing the cities as quickly as they can. And why wouldn't they? They've been locked down in small apartments. There's no restaurants, there's no nightlife, there's no social gathering, there's nothing to do but sit in a tiny apartment which you're paying crazy price for. Your life's at risk, food's difficult to get. It's just an absolutely crazy environment. So all these folks are moving out of the city, they're moving out of the suburbs, they're moving out of populated states, and they're moving to the country. And that's what my coworker's plan was. Get me away from the country, get me away from the city, no neighbors, trees. I want to be surrounded by trees, no people. And eventually he wants to start homesteading and getting his own food and whatnot. If you are thinking about doing that, now's the time. Do not delay. Actually, 5 years ago was probably the time to do that, because if you move now, there's a limited selection of land and homesteading items are expensive. But the thing is, the longer you wait, the less land is going to be available and the more expensive things are going to get. Take a look at typical homesteading things. You want a generator, you want a chest freezer, you want to build something, sheds, porches, you want some treated lumber. You can't get any of that. There's no freezers available at Lowe's. There's no treated lumber available. You want to buy a shed from Home Depot or something, expect a 2 to 3 month delay if you can get one. Prices are increasing. There's no canners and no canning lids, hardly anywhere. There are some canning jars that come with lids in some places when they get a shipment in Walmart or something. Prices have increased dramatically online. Gold has reached record highs. Silver has reached record highs. Ammo has increased by 100% in 2 months, price-wise. You can't even buy a gun in a shop anymore. There's just no guns to be had. Record background checks every single month. And any gun that is available in a shop, regardless of weird caliber, is being bought up. So there's something. If you can find ammunition online, it will probably be bought out before you can check out in your shopping cart. That's how much demand there is right now. And prices are just going to continue to increase. There's so many other things, homesteading-wise, where prices have shot up. Chickens. I sold a couple hens on Craigslist. They weren't even laying yet, and I sold them for $30 each. I sold 4 of them. Typically, I sell them for like $15 to $20 if they're good layers. So that's an incredible price increase. And the chaos is going to continue to increase. Demand for these type of tangible goods is going to continue to increase. Food prices will continue to increase. And the reason is because part of the left's agenda is to create as much chaos in the cities as possible to distract up until the election. And if Trump wins re-election, the left has nothing to lose. And they will just continue to go crazy. Burn down everything they can. If Biden wins, the economy, which is already struggling, is going to take a complete nosedive. We had the worst second quarter GDP in the history of our country. And the third quarter is not going to be pretty either. And that's with Trump's economic policies that had the best economy going in who knows how long. So even with that, it's the lockdowns, it's a pandemic, it's the riots, it's the chaos that are killing the economy. And it's destroying the supply chain. Not to mention China. You got some major issues with China. That's getting kind of dicey. 2021 is shaping up to be a crazier year than 2020, if you can believe that. So if you're thinking of, hey, in a year or two, I'm going to move out to the country and I'm going to start homesteading. I don't have a crystal ball, but I would say kind of forget about it. Where are you going to move? Who's going to sell their house? What are you going to buy? There's going to be such a shortage. And you might be locked down to the point where they won't let you leave anyway. You should see Australia. You should see the type of restrictions they have in movement and travel in Australia. So, if you're thinking about doing it, making the move out, getting the homestead going, your time is now. It's either now or never. That's how I would describe it. I hope this video has encouraged you to think about making a move. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe button if you would. I'm also posting videos on projects and other things I'm working on behind the scenes over at 2ac3.com/Copeland. Come check us out.